The Obama administration is still looking into whether Syria's military used chemical weapons in an attack on civilians earlier this week. Let's bring in NBC News' Steve Handelsman for the latest on that subject. Good evening, Steve. What can you tell us?
Larry, thanks. Critics here in Washington are complaining that President Obama delaying any U.S. military response, if in fact he ever orders one, is giving a green light to Syria's government to use chemical weapons again.
So, now welcome my Free Market Friday panel. I'm going to ask them, are you satisfied with President Obama's response to this whole situation in Syria so far? Here with me for the rest of the hour, Ahmed Shihab Eldin, host of HuffPost Live. Did I get it right?
You got it right.
I'm improving. Okay, right. It's a pleasure to have you back again. Avik Roy, senior fellow at the Manhattan Institute, and my great friend Mark Simone from WOR Talk Radio. Ahmed, what do you want Obama to do? But before we get into the prognostication of what he will do, what do you want him to do?
I want Obama to actually put his money where his mouth is. I want him to stop the empty rhetoric. For now 2.5 years, he's been speaking, and his words have gotten ahead of him, you know, his actions as well. I mean, come on. In August 2011, we all saw that he called for President Bashar al-Assad to be ousted. That was 2 years ago. Now, he had no strategy for that, but yet he made that call. And again, he set a year ago, you know, that game-changing red line. And it's embarrassing that he's unable to act on that red line. And for as much as we're saying that the Russians are an obstacle, you saw this week the Russian foreign minister called for an independent probe into the chemical latest.
Yeah, right.
But he can work with people. I don't know why he's doing this.
Just let me ask you this, the red line. I never really understood the red line. Mm-hmm. Okay, we can bomb Assad. I don't know if we know where the chemical weapons are. Maybe we can, maybe we can't. Mm-hmm. We could bomb Assad. There'll be a lot of collateral damage. Maybe that's what we have to do. We could use drones. We could use surgical strikes. We could do all that stuff. But then we get more involved. Right. And I don't know. Why not allow the civil war in Syria to continue? That's what it is. I don't know I know who the bad guys are. I don't know who the good guys are. I'm not sure anybody knows I'm not sure there are any good guys.
A lot of people say that that's one strategy. Obviously, this is a proxy war. You see Hezbollah and Russia and, you know, President Bashar al-Assad fighting on one side. There's also Sunni extremists, Al-Qaeda, people from Iraq, different groups coming in. And, you know, the people who are even discussing arming, which is General Idris, who's the moderate, you know, rebel commander. There's so many divisions amongst the rebels. The people who are the most effective at fighting are actually some of the more extreme elements. I mean, Obama's biggest flaw, not just in Syria, also in Egypt, is he's not living up to U.S. law. There's a coup in Egypt. We're not suspending the aid. You think President Bashar al-Assad is acting in defiance of Obama for no reason? No, the reason is he knows that Obama is hesitant, he's cautious. And so when Obama in that, you know, exclusive CNN interview says that, you know, people are criticizing me for not taking immediate action, 100,000 people have died. You know, the regional stability is falling apart.
Let me just go around. We don't have a lot of time. What's your quick take on this?
Yeah, so, you know, I want to harken back to what you said about going it alone versus doing it with allies.
Right.
So I actually think the president got a lot of flack for what he did in Libya, but I actually think it was smart to let NATO take the lead in Libya for a lot of reasons. Here, the problem is he's being feckless, as Ahmed said. He said there was a red line, and now he's kind of fumbling around. Say what you mean and mean what you say. And if you want to work behind the scenes with allies to take action, do it. But it doesn't seem like that's what he's doing.
Mark Simone, do you want to see military action?
I think President Obama is the perfect leader at this time. He has a leadership style of just making speeches and never doing a thing about it. And I think that's the course here. You know, what do we do here? You said we don't know who the good guys are in this. This is like when you watch those soccer games from England with these two teams. I don't know which team I'm for.
True. I'll be honest with you. I'm a national security hawk, I guess, a Reagan guy. But I'm confounded by this whole situation. And that's why I'm not attacking the president on this, although I don't want him to have to wait to the United Nations. I'm just not sure. I think this is different than Libya.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure what I want him to do and what the right thing to do is. I mean,
Larry, but doing nothing, inaction, isn't an excuse for being cautious. When the world superpower speaks in these broad, you know, very bold terms, you have to act on it.
But then we're going to have to go after the chemical weapons. We're going to have to find out, CIA, whoever, go after the chemical weapons.
Strongly condemn them, get the world to join us. You cannot go in and find them.
I don't know where they are.
And let's not forget that Assad is a strategic enemy of the United States. He's actively sabotaged our efforts in Iraq. Mm-hmm. He's an active enemy of a stable Lebanon. There's so many things he's doing that undermines humanitarian and U.S. strategic interests.
Well, I'm not defending him, that's for sure. I'm just trying to figure out what to do. But it's a longer conversation. Our Free Market Friday panel is going to stay with me for the rest of the show.